In the last section, we searched for an apartment, we found a place to live, we signed a lease agreement with our landlord, and then we learned how to pay for our utilities. You also learned what a landlord is and who a tenant is. And a tenant pays the landlord. Something we talked about what an owner or a landlord might ask for is a background check or criminal check, which is different than the check, meaning the piece of paper you use to pay your utilities or you use to pay your rent. Because if you don't have enough money in the bank, then you might bounce your check. And if you bounce your check, you may get evicted from the apartment. So do you all remember that word, evicted? You wouldn't use it really in any other context other than being forcefully asked to move from a place of residency. You would never say, oh, I got in a fight with my dad, he evicted me. No. Another way you can use evicted also is, well, another synonym for evicted would be to get kicked out. You can say, oh, I got kicked out of the apartment or kicked out of my house. There were some other verbs you learned in this last section. And if you remember, repair and renovate. And the difference between the two verbs. You repair something that is broken. So, for example, your refrigerator all of a sudden starts making this loud noise. You wouldn't say, oh, I need to renovate my refrigerator. No, that is wrong. You would say, oh, I should call the owner and ask him to have a repairman come to repair my refrigerator. Now, renovate is if your windows, they might be a little old. So in the winter time, you may have some cold air coming through. And you may ask the owner, hey, I've lived in this place for a year now. Can you do some renovations on the windows? And the owner may or may not do the renovations. So remember, repair is the same as to fix. And renovate is to make better. There is also to maintain, which most apartment complexes would have a maintenance man. Some realtors would have their own maintenance man, but maintenance is to maintain, to keep up the property so it's still functioning and useful. So if you maintain something, you keep it working. We also have vacate. Now, vacate, it's somewhat similar to evict, but vacate isn't negative. Evict is always negative. Vacate would just mean you are leaving. So if you vacated the apartment, it meant you left. If you go to a hotel and you say, oh, is there any vacancy? They say, yes, there is vacancy. It means that you can stay at the hotel. And you can also use it like this, because we've come to the end of our time together. So I am going to vacate the premises. So until next time.